Hey, so we bought this house about 3 months ago, and I'll tell you what, when we bought it, this place was an absolute dump. It was disgusting. There was trash in it. It was this old, ugly blue color. It was dirty, but we were able to come in and we've made it look beautiful now. We were able to renovate it, put fresh paint on it, get all the trash out. And in this video, I just want to talk about why we chose to do what we did, how much it costs, and then you can take that information, and if you decide to flip a house on your own, it'll allow you to make a more educated decision on what you do. So let's talk about the outside first, because we all know when you pull up to a home, I mean, this is the first thing you see, right? I mean, curb appeal sells houses without a doubt. So when we renovate a house, we 100% want to make sure that when somebody pulls up to that home, their first impression is really good, because if it's not, you may lose them before they ever walk in the door. So the first thing you see right when you pull up is this beautiful awning that we built. This was not here. We had to build this from scratch, had to connect it to the roof line, and it was a lot of work. Our guys spent about a week building just the awning alone, and it cost us about $3,500 from the roof to the supports to the cedar to the lighting. This is not something we always do, but I think it added a lot of pop to the house right when you walk up to it. You also will notice that the shutters are here. These shutters were not here when we bought the house, and I'm a big proponent of cedar colored shutters. I think that they really just catch your eye. I like when they're on a white exterior. And so we put these cedar shutters on, and for only $800 we were able to do these, put the black hardware on them. And I think it makes a huge difference too, because right when you pull up, your eye is drawn to the cedar color and it's drawn to the white. Now, this house was blue when we bought it, like I mentioned, but for $3,000, which is really not that much, and we were able to make it this nice farmhouse white color, and I think it looks really good. We had a little bit of debate on this rock wall. One of the people on our team wanted to take it down and put siding. We decided to keep it because I think it adds a lot of pop. We had some guys come in and they pressure washed this rock wall. They pressure washed the whole outside. They did the driveway, and we were able to do that for $500, and it makes a huge difference because it has such a high impact for such a low cost. I think it should be done 100% of the time. One more thing that we always like to do when we buy a home is pretty obvious, but you might not think of it. It's landscaping. Landscaping is also one of those things like paint and shutters that as soon as you pull up, you immediately notice it. And this house was pretty bad landscaping wise when we bought it. So we put in $2,500 total in the landscaping, and that feels like a lot maybe, but totally worth it. I highly recommend you always don't skimp on landscaping. Make it look good because you want people to love it when they pull up. So we're inside the house now. Just like the outside, it's very important that when somebody walks inside, they have a really good first impression of the house. We do a really good job at making sure that our homes shine when people walk in. One of the best possible ways that you can do that is with your flooring and your paint. The flooring that we put inside of this home is it's an engineered hardwood product, and it costs us about $4 a square foot for the actual material. And it's really nice. It has a really good feel when you walk in. And for this house, for the flooring materials and for the labor, cost us about $8,000. And that's a lot for sure, but totally worth it in the end. Everybody knows that the kitchen sells the house, and you want to make sure that your kitchen looks really good. Now, we got a little bit lucky when we bought this house because, believe it or not, these nice white shaker cabinets, they were actually already in the house. So that doesn't happen very often, but because they were, of course, we're going to keep them, right? The one thing that we did do is we put these really nice black farmhouse hardware handles on. We always try to make stuff look like a modern farmhouse. That's kind of our style. And then obviously you can see we put in some farmhouse style light fixtures that really add a good little pop to the kitchen. We did the appliances too, and we don't always do appliances, but stainless steel appliances can really be bought for not that expensive of a price. This was about a $300 microwave, $500 stove, $500 dishwasher. Just gives it a nice look. You don't really want old, outdated appliances when you flip a house, obviously. So we were able to put these in. They add a really nice look to the house, and I'm glad we did it. So bathrooms, we always do them a little bit differently. Sometimes we do a full gut and a renovation. Sometimes we pull out the shower. This one, we kind of did a hybrid. So the tile that was here was actually okay. We just cleaned it up, put a new vanity in, obviously put in a new faucet, a new countertop. And behind me is the shower. And you can see we didn't do new tile in the shower because, I mean, it's not brand new tile, but it doesn't really look that bad. So we cleaned it really good, redid the grout, and it's presentable. It's not brand new, but it did the job, and it saved us a lot more money than it would have if we had redone it. Because all in all, this bathroom only cost us about $750 to redo. So we paid $175 for the house. Like I said, we helped the seller out of foreclosure. So we incurred about $5,000 of costs to do that. So that brought us to $180. Then we spent $30,000 on the renovation. That included outside, inside, and everything you see. So that brought us to $210. Now, when we buy these homes, we use private money. So we have a lender come in. He gives us all the money for the renovation and the purchase. And when we do that, we obviously have to pay the lender interest. So through the course of the whole deal, we're going to end up paying our lender about $7,500 in interest on this deal. So that brings us to $217,500. And then when we go to sell it, we're going to have to pay the agent who brings a buyer a commission. And because we have this home listed for $340,000, it's going to be about a $10,000, $11,000 commission. So call it about $228, right? So we're all into the house for $228. We're going to sell it around $340, maybe $330. So when it's all said and done, we should net hopefully around $100,000, but it just kind of depends on how the deal shakes out and everything like that. So all that to say, if you're willing to put the work in, like I mentioned, you're able to find people that could use your help, you can do a deal like this too.